30, I want y'all to meet Deltron Zero, hero, not no small feat. It's all heat in this day and age. I'll rage your grave, anything it takes to save the day. Neuromancer, perfect blend of technology and magic. Use my rapping so you all can see the hazards. Plus entertainment where many are brainless. We cultivated the lost art of study and I brought a buddy. Automator, harder slayer, fascinating combination. Cyber warlords are activating abominations. Harmonation with hatred, we ain't with that. We high-tech archaeologists searching for knickknacks. Composing musical stem packs that impacts the soul. Crack the mold of what you think you rapping for. I used to be a mag soldier, but I didn't respect orders. I had to step forward, tell them this ain't for us. Living in a post-apocalyptic world, morbid and horrid. The secrets of the past, they hoard it. Now we just boarded on our futuristic spacecraft. No mistakes, black is our music we must take back. Yo, it's 3030. I want y'all to meet Deltron Zero and Automator. Yo, it's 3030. I want y'all to meet Deltron Zero and Automator. Yo, it's 3030. I want y'all to meet Deltron Zero and Automator.
A man, is it the power in his hands? Is it his quest for glory? Give it all you got to fight to the top, so we can know your story. Now you're a man, man. Now you're a man, man. You are now a man, you're a man. Now you're a man. Live it, live it. What makes a man? Is it the woman in his arms? Just 'cause she has big titties? Or is it the way he fights every day? No, it's probably the titties. Now you're a man. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh. Now you're a man. Now you're a man. M-A-N, man. Now you're a man.
What's up, guys? Anyway.
What's up, guys? How are we doing this evening? Back here for another episode of the Machete Bowl. And tonight we're going to be reviewing our premiere lolcow of 2026, the Reddit mod, who really thinks that he's something after making a complete ass of himself, embarrassing himself, becoming a meme of what a Reddit moderator might be. He has decided that he's going to make videos as an influencer on the internet. And he's going to explain comedy to us poor plebeians of YouTube. You know how you watch comedy every day and you go, man, if only someone would explain the joke to me so they can seem smarter than me and ruin any humor in the entire joke. It's an amazing plan from someone who definitely knows what people on the internet want to see. I mean, that's what everybody loves. Getting the joke explained to them. I mean, isn't that your favorite thing? Doesn't that make everything a lot funnier when people explain why things are funny? I mean, that's just the best part of comedy, really. Really the best part when you explain it. So he made a video explaining the levels of irony and how you just don't get how he's being ironic and comedic every time he talks and says something stupid. You don't get it. You're misunderstanding it. He's just being ironic, and there's levels of irony that you don't even get, that he's totally putting out there that you're not even going to understand. He's the absolute stereotype of a Redditor, thinks the joke is funnier if you explain the joke and show how smart you are and you got the joke. Let me explain it for you. It's so we're going to do a little different than my normal just like laughing and calling people stupid. I'm going to try to actually counter his points with some kind of cogent points that make some better sense, but we'll see how that goes. I'm not the best presenter, so we'll see. But we have the video from Stale2000, our old friendly Reddit moderator, explaining the levels of irony. For us guys, we didn't get it. We didn't get hit. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it. Let's just watch it.
Am I serious? Well, yes and no. I like to say that I'm post-ironic.
So that's the first. I'm gonna be doing this a lot because there's a lot of stupid points he makes. So that's the first point he makes that I want to jump on is yes and no. Am I being serious? Well, yes and no. This is an idiot who can't take a position. It's just, I'm joking if you don't like it and you think I'm being stupid. But if you think I'm making a serious point that you like, well then I'm being serious. This is the spineless Redditor argument here. Well, I'm only being serious if you're on board. If you think I'm a lunatic, well then I'm joking. It's ironic, guys.
Or on layer 2 of the irony scale. That means I try to talk about serious things by going way over the top with it. I say things that have a comedic punchline. I say things that sound like a joke, but when you think deeper about it, have a bit of a kernel of truth to it.
No, he says stuff that does sound like a joke, because it is a joke coming out of his mouth, because he takes being a Reddit mod seriously, and he made an ass out of himself in front of the internet because he took it very seriously and demanded a change that would only benefit him. And then everybody laughed at him. He goes, well, you don't get the irony. I was just being ironic. I don't actually care about it. No, you do care about it. And now you feel like a jackass and you're trying to rewrite history like a lolcow would do.
I act ridiculous because the truth is ridiculous. And acting ridiculous is the only way to get you to take it seriously.
No. That's just a stupid argument.
A refresher on what just happened, though. I made a viral video, a video directed to the CEO of Reddit, where I gave you a peek into the insanity that is Reddit moderation and how it affects Reddit, the third largest social...
No, you didn't. You didn't give anybody a peek into how Reddit moderation works. Everybody knows how Reddit moderation works. It's not a very complicated system. What you gave them a peek into, sir, was the people who are the mods. And we already knew the people who are the mods are you. But it's just confirmed it for everybody. The mods of Reddit are the stereotypical weedly little perma internet people, permanently online internet people who think Reddit means something. That's the only thing you did with that video.
Media platform in the US. In the video, I came off like a crazy person who was taking a silly topic like Reddit moderation.
He is a crazy person, and he was very serious about it, and it hurt his feelings very badly. He's trying to rewrite history and pretend like, no, I was poking fun at the ridiculousness that is Reddit. No, you were showing everybody what a ridiculous stereotype you are.
Way too seriously. And I looked crazy because the situation is crazy. I was inspired to make this video by my favorite content creator, JReg. He is also a comedic content creator who created a video about the multiple layers.
Which is another thing I'd like to point out is that, number one, you are not a content creator. You have created no content. All you've done is made a couple of videos whining about being a stereotypical Redditor. You haven't made anything that's been worthwhile content. Your video only got views because people watched it to laugh at you. You're not a content creator. And even if you were a content creator, if your third video is just straight up ripping off someone else's idea, that shows that you're not destined to be a content creator. You're just a moron who has no ideas, who's just hoping to go viral from being a dope online.
Layers of irony. And since I'm now a viral influencer, this is my attempt to contribute.
And you are not a viral influencer. You went viral with one video where you embarrassed yourself And you're not an influencer, because an influencer implies that anyone cares what you think. And I guarantee you, no one in the world cares what you think or do.
Contribute to the irony discourse by describing and defining layers 3 and 4 of irony that add on top to JReg's kind of previous definitions of layers kind of 0 through 2 of irony. Specifically, I'm going to be using these definitions of irony.
You know, I mean, he might go up there with Cyrax in the people I actually want to talk about and have something to say about, because not many people, like when I watch Wrestling Otaku, I don't stop him every 2 seconds and go, "Sir, you're being ridiculous." It's just funny to laugh and go, "Ha ha ha, look what he's saying." But this guy got a lot to say about, because he is as delusional, if not more delusional than Cyrax, just about a different thing. To describe a very online topic known as lolcows that I've become intimately familiar with after my big viral moment. He thinks having been laughed at for being a lolcow for 2 weeks gives him an inside info into what it's like to be a lolcow. You have no idea what it's like to be a lolcow, but you will learn if you continue to make videos like this, making an ass out of yourself for the internet. You will learn.
So what is irony? Well, in my framework, irony is critique. And each layer above the previous layer of irony is a critique of the critique. So what is layer 0 of irony? Well, that's just sincerity. That means just having an opinion, having a goal, having a direction, a philosophy, any just act or opinion or situation that involves...
What is your goal? What is your philosophy? As the Reddit moderator who admitted he only wanted to become a Reddit moderator for the power it gives him over other people on the internet. What is your philosophy? To be a stereotypical loser who derives all their sense of self from being a Reddit moderator? Is that your philosophy?
Agency. It is not in reference to something else. It is not the opposite of a different position. Instead, it is an opinion or philosophy that stands on its own. Notice.
See, the thing is when he glossed over me the last time we covered him, he said, "Oh, well, this guy doesn't have substance. He's not talking about the arguments." Well, now let's talk about the arguments you're making, and let's debate every stupid point you make. Let's see if that'll make you want to actually debate me, or if it just turns out that you don't like me because I disagree with you and have a negative opinion.
That we can even have two opposing positions that are on layer 0 because they stand on its own without it being in reference to the other position. Some examples might be the Republican or the Democratic Party. They are
yes, the Republican and the Democratic Party, a perfect example of the irony you see on the internet. What is he talking about? He thinks he has a point. He's just making ridiculous grasps. Oh, this is why I'm relevant. Listen to my ideas about irony. It has nothing to do with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. What are you talking about?
in some sense opposed to each other, but they still have ideas and philosophies of their own that don't need to be defined as being against the other party. Layer 0 is everywhere. The real world is mostly full of layer 0 sincere beliefs. Well, that was easy. So let's get to layer 1 of irony.
Layer 0 of irony is sincere beliefs. What does that even mean? What is this whole layers of irony? Is irony his code word for it's supposed to be funny unless you don't like it? Is that what irony is? I don't think he understands what the word irony means.
If layer 0 is defending a belief, layer 1 is attacking it. Layer 1 of irony requires the acknowledgement of the opposing belief and positions itself so as to attack it or tear it down. It is fundamentally destruction, not creation. And in order to destroy, there must already exist something that was created to then destroy.
Was he on drugs and writing this and being like, this makes sense as a point? Let me talk about what irony means. This doesn't make sense. This is word salad. This is word salad that you would write out as a Reddit comment and people would just like gloss over and be like, must make sense. It's a long statement. But it doesn't. This doesn't make sense. This is word salad. This doesn't mean anything.
Some examples. Some people say that sarcasm is a layer 1 belief because you're saying the opposite of what you mean. But I mean something a little bit different from that in my framework of irony. The best example that I have of a layer one position would be the Socratic method, or the person who's constantly asking questions about somebody else's belief and pointing out flaws without necessarily even having a position of their own. Elitism, credentialism.
That's not irony. That's not irony. That has nothing to do with irony. That's being a critic. That's having a critical mind and questioning that has nothing to do with... How is that ironic, even if irony means comedy? What does that have to do with irony? This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yes, sarcasm is not irony. This is ridiculous.
Or gatekeeping is a layer one belief because it fundamentally says that there are people out there who are not qualified, are not competent enough to have a position, do an action, have a goal, etc., and that's why we need these credentials or gatekeeping to make sure that the wrong people are not engaged.
Did he write this in a night? Did he not have anyone else read this script to be like, does this even make sense what I'm trying to say? Did he just think he's so perfect he could write a script in one night and then say it and everybody go, yeah, this makes sense? No, this is ridiculous. This is stupidity. This isn't a cogent thought. This is just him making up rules, and this is what irony is, because I say it's irony, and if you go on about the irony, then it's funny. It's just stupid.
Engaging in certain actions. Layer one is exclusionary. And to get to my most important example, I would argue that the internet itself, especially social media in the digital age, is fundamentally full of layer one beliefs and critiques, which stands in stark contrast to kind of the beliefs that are in kind of the real world. What I mean by this is, I think that social media, especially websites like Reddit, are not really about...
Especially websites like Reddit. Reddit is not really social media. No, I guess it kind of is. But of course he would use Reddit as an example because he spends his entire life on Reddit. He can't think of a world outside of Reddit. He's basically just hoping to reach out to Redditors who hopefully he'll find him on YouTube now, and he'll get to recreate his little Reddit bubble on YouTube.
About doing things, and they're more about sharing and critiquing things that other people are doing. It's not about you putting things out into the world. It's about you attacking things that other people do. This layer one philosophy resonates through the entire DNA of the internet, both from the very sarcastic and critical humor that is common on websites like Reddit, and even down to the very features that make up these websites, such as, resharing, retweeting, commenting, and features like that are baked into the very infrastructure of...
I almost put in a kind of counter, because he says kind of a lot. I went through my AI thing. He says kind of anywhere, depending on how if you count kinda and kind of is the same thing, anywhere between 80 and 120 times in a 20-minute video. He says kind of all the time. He couldn't even practice and take out his stupid affectations. He says kind of.
Of the internet. Websites are built to make you attack, critique, reshare, comment, or retweet. And this is so ubiquitous that I don't think people could even imagine it to be any other way. It's hard to even put a finger on what is truly wrong with the internet, let alone fix it, beyond vague hand waves and attacks against the algorithm. And I hate this. I hate layer one of irony because it's fundamentally destructive and about attacking the things that other people do.
Oh my god. I hate layer one of irony. Of course he hates it. He's a Redditor. He has to tell people how he doesn't like something. He has to add in how much he doesn't like layer one of irony. He's too advanced for layer one of irony. He abhors that kind of low-level ironic thinking. He's on level 2 or 3 of irony. You gotta get up there with him, because he's so smart.
And I think that this internet-driven, very critical philosophy is what drives very huge problems in kind of the world that we see today. And this is both on the internet and in real life. We live in an ironic, sarcastic, and critical world where we gawk at the things that other people do as opposed to create on our own. And I will...
Oh my god, he's going down the lolcow road. Everybody's just making fun of me instead of making their own content. If you want to be a content creator like me, make your own content like I'm doing. No, you are the content because you're a ridiculous caricature of a human being. 5 from Hillbilly. Someone pointed out last night on 2i for Stupid that he spent all his time explaining irony when he's really just coping about being a laughingstock. He absolutely is. He's trying to explain to the world. This is the big message in this whole video. Don't you get it? I'm not that upset about Reddit. I was just being ironic because I realized that everybody was laughing at me for being so upset about something stupid. So now I want to convince the world that it's a whole other thing going on. I'm smarter than them. They just didn't get it. Can't take an L. He's destined to be a lolcow. Destined to be a lolcow.
Put a disclaimer on this that I'm moralizing something that doesn't automatically have to be moralized, and certainly has some upsides as well as downsides. There's nothing wrong with, gatekeeping our doctors or civil engineers, and critique itself isn't automatically bad, but I stand by my moralizing nonetheless. What does layer 2 or post-irony mean?
Post-irony. Post-irony. It's just the stupidest concept that you can even come up. Post-irony. I'm so advanced with my irony. It's post-irony. You don't even get my irony. I'm so advanced with my post-irony. Meta-irony. Ridiculous. This man is a joke of a human being.
Post-irony is the critique of the critique. If your body is sincere at layer 0, then layer...
This video, it's a college presentation. It's a college presentation for his sociology class. And he thought this would just be a hit on the internet. Everybody would go, man, he's breaking the algorithm with his college presentation on how he's so smarter than everybody else. This is just
Layer 1
ridiculous.
is the sword that attacks your body, and layer 2 would be the shield that defends itself against the sword or the critique. Layer 2 is not a position on its own. If it was a position on its own, then it would be layer 0 at sincerity. No, it only exists as a reference to a reference. The way that I use post-irony is I say things that I believe, but I do it in a very over-the-top way that makes it sound like I'm joking. I do this as kind of a shield and a way of kind of
You do it as a way to hide because you're a spineless Redditor and you're stuck in the Reddit group thing where you're afraid to actually have an opinion. So you throw one out there and pretend you're being ironic unless people get it and like the idea, and then you're serious. 'Cause that's what Redditors do. They don't have any spine until they find out that everybody else agrees, and then they're being serious. This is sad. This is sad.
dismissing criticism. This works because if I say something that I know sounds silly, well, it becomes much harder for other people to attack me for something that I have acknowledged already is the case. Or in other words, I was only pretending to be retarded, therefore you can't attack me for it. I live and breathe in layer 2. I'm told this can be confusing to many.
Here's a button. We have a cash app from Roy Vaughn, our old friend of the channel, Roy Vaughn. He says $5 for this guy has the same haircut as Chance. That is very true, Roy. That is very, very true, Roy. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Anyways. Oh, where's the button? Why am I doing this badly?
So why would one want to exist as a reference to a reference? Why not just be sincere? I mean, the opposite of an opposite should cancel back out to sincerity, right?
Oh,
well, here's why. In this very internet-driven, sarcastic, and...
Oh my god. Oh my god. The opposite of an opposite should cancel each other out. We're talking about conversation and ideas. It's not an equation. What are you talking about? This man is a joke.
Destructionary society. The kind of attacks from the peanut gallery will destroy anybody who's trying to do something sincerely. It is very hard to defend yourself against every attack, every nitpick, every whispering voice from the crowd telling you that
you're not supposed to defend yourself from basically any of it. You're supposed to be yourself, and if people don't like it, you shut up and take it. You don't sit there and explain yourself. Let me explain why I'm right. You guys don't get it. I'm actually right, and you guys haven't let me explain myself enough. You don't? Okay.
suck and you should therefore give up. You simply cannot fight against every piece of criticism, which is why you need a tool to defend yourself against the very concept of criticism. A post-ironic defense goes something like this. Yeah, your criticisms are right, but that's why I'm going to succeed anyway. Yeah, I don't have credentials, but I don't care. I'm going to go for it regardless.
What does that even mean? That doesn't make sense. How does that have to do with irony? He's just talking like gibberish. Like thinking if he says enough words about irony, eventually people would just understand. He's not good at explaining himself either. He just thinks if he can say things and then give you weird examples that prove he's right, everyone's going to go, okay, yeah, you're the master of irony. You're the master of irony.
Yeah, I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm gonna learn from them and then pick myself back up and try over again.
How is that even irony? That's a grounded statement of, yeah, I'm gonna make mistakes and I'm gonna pick myself up and try again because I want to try. What are you talking about? It's like he didn't even think about this script. He just thought he was being a genius when writing it and didn't even think to evaluate how little it makes sense.
And finally, the best defense of them all, I was only pretending to be retarded, therefore you can't criticize me for being retarded. Some people would call this a cope, and in some ways they're right. Instead of disagreeing with the criticism, you're saying, yeah, the criticism is right, but it doesn't matter. And in this highly online critical world, I think this philosophy of accepting criticism but not caring, of being willing to fail but try again, is the exact sort of thing that we need to get people back to believing things again. Some more examples of layer 2 post-irony defenses are being anti-elitism, anti-gatekeeping, or move fast and break things. That's actually a very Silicon Valley but layer 2 coded
Oh my god. Oh my god, like you can hear as he's speaking just a sound, just a single clap heard round the world, just one single, and that was every woman's yoni slamming shut, never to open again. Not while this man exists. Ever. 2 from Rick and Walnut on Rumble. He is the sovereign citizen of the Reddit community. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, guys.
Defense. Move fast and break things sounds a bit counterintuitive at first. Why would you want to break things? Well, it's not really that you want to break things. Instead, it's that you will move quickly if you don't worry so much about breaking things. It's about kind of accepting that that will happen and kind of going on and taking the advantage of speed anyway. Very layer 2 coded. The Grug IQ graph is another example of a very layer 2 meme. This one's about patriotism, and at layer 0 you have kind of the Grug who is both, correct and also has kind of a very sincere patriotic.
Oh my god. Oh my god, now he's using Reddit meme comics about politics to illustrate his point about how ironic he is. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Belief. Then you have the center IQ person who's kind of the layer 1 critique. And he is, against kind of the patriotic Grug, and he's kind of wrong in this image. And then at layer 2, you have kind of the very high IQ person who is also patriotic, but presumably for different reasons than kind of like the low IQ kind of Grug. Kinda. Which is why this is an example of kind of like layer 2 patriotic propaganda is what we'll call it. This even expresses a very common quality among kind of like layer 2 thinking, and that is that it has a kind of a very self-aware, self-important, pseudo-intellectual, I'm better than you type kind of idea, where it says kind of you have a point, but it's not like the more basic point. It's actually kind of more complicated, but still correct. And finally,
so you'll notice now he's really losing his flow, and he's just saying kinda every sentence. It's really irritating.
There's something to be very careful about with regards to layer 2 post-ironic thinking. And that is, if your body is layer 0, and poison is the layer 1 thing that is attacking your body, and antivenom is the thing that fights the poison, the astute listener will notice that if you drink a bunch of poison and then drink a bunch of antivenom right after that, you are not back to being healthy. It's not...
Oh my god, what is he talking about? Oh my god. I mean, like, this is a Redditor explaining something to you. This is what happens when a Redditor explains something to you. This is what your life is like. Could you imagine, like, being at a bar and this guy is sitting... Well, not that he would ever go to a bar, but, And this guy is sitting next to you and he wants to explain something. Oh, did you see that? You see that thing on the sitcom? Let me explain why that was funny. It's like, oh god. I'm just gonna go home. I don't wanna deal with this. Up 2 more on Rumble from Brick and Walnut. Is this AI? No, this man is real. This is a real man who thought this was a good idea.
Just that the antivenom counteracts all of the poison or criticism that's targeted against you. It's also that the antivenom has side effects of its own. And if you take too much of the antivenom, this is going to lead to very significant kind of problems with your way of thinking and going about life. which leads us into a side tangent, which I am calling the meta-ironic black hole. Meta-irony is not the sarcastic opposite that is...
now he's going to explain meta-irony. Are you excited for the meta-irony discussion? We're going to hear about meta-irony. Meta-irony.
Kind of layer 1 irony, nor is it the sincere over-the-topness of layer 2 post-irony. Instead, meta-irony is something of its own. Instead, meta-irony is saying something that is masked in so many layers of irony that neither the listener nor even possibly you know what is even being said or what the point of it all is in the first place.
It's masked in so many layers of irony that you don't even know it's ironic. Oh my god. I never want to hear the word irony ever again in my entire... I never want to hear the word irony ever again in my entire life. Ever, ever.
Is the statement true? Is it false? Is it half true? Nobody knows. Some people like J-Reg and iDubbbz have said that meta-irony fits into layer 2 of...
Oh, good. He likes iDubbbz. He likes iDubbbz. That'll give you a nice hint to where he's coming from. He likes iDubbbz, guys.
Irony. But I don't really think that fits. Let me explain why. In my framework, every even layer of irony, that is layers 0, 2, 4, and so on, is in agreement with the original layer 0 position in some way. Whereas the odd layers, that is layers 1, 3, 5, etc., are the critique or in disagreement with the original sincere layer 0.
God.
But meta-irony doesn't fit that pattern at all, because you don't know what they're saying. I think that meta-irony is something that you can enter at any...
Again, literally, this is a college presentation on what is irony. Just making sure you take everything that's fun and enjoyable and nice about comedy and just make sure it's just not there anymore. Just explain the joke. Let's go through who's on first. Well, let me explain. See, there's men on the team who have odd names. The man's on first name sounds like the word who, but it's actually spelled differently. So when you say who, he's going to think you're asking, who is that? But you're actually going to be saying the man's name. And that's where the confusion will lie. And that's why it's going to be funny. Guys, doesn't that make it funnier when you explain the joke? Doesn't that make it more interesting?
Layer of the irony scale, and it's sort of a black hole or vortex that tears away all of the meaning in your statement and can...
my streamer is still struggling to catch up, but we have two on YouTube from Jay. It says, Steve, I'd rather watch Zombie Army. I'd rather play Zombie Army right now, and I hate that game. I hate that game, and I'd rather be playing that game.
Send you spinning out up and down all across the layers. It gets even easier to enter into kind of the black hole the more layers that you go up. The black hole analogy works because it really does feel like your position is kind of spinning out of control. Are you being sincere? Are you being sarcastic?
Oh, there we are. YouTube caught up again. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Anyways, this is horrible.
Post-ironic, post-ironic. Nobody knows. That's why it's the black hole. And layer 2 really is where most people start getting sucked.
Did he literally just say post-ironic? Oh my god, there's more than one layer of post-irony. I am not going to understand it. He's too smart for me, guys. He's too smart for me. He understands irony and humor on a deeper level than you and me. I just sit here and make stupid jokes that make people laugh. He'll explain the jokes so you all understand them. So you can really just settle on why it was funny. You don't have to laugh. That's not the fun part of jokes. Understanding why they're funny is the fun part of jokes.
Into kind of this black hole, which is why it can be kind of so confusing to many. In fact, the original viral video that I made, which was kind of addressed to Spez, the CEO of Reddit, kind of fell into this black hole. This is because there were some statements in the video which I thought were clear.
Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought that was you. Hey, Uncle Gums, stop coming to my channel. I don't like you. You're weird, and you're a creep. So, you're banned, by the way. Anyways.
Jokes like Reddit moderators should be treated like celebrities. And then there was other things that I said were...
Why would he come here? I've never even pretended to like him. I've never even fucked with him. Why would Uncle Gums come here? He's just desperate for anyone's attention. So weird.
Sincere, and there are other parts where I think I just got clearly carried away. Some people have called it cope for me to claim that it was all a joke in the first place, but looking back on the video myself, it's actually very difficult for even me to tell which parts are kind of real or were intended to be jokes or were just kind of...
What is going on? Why would Uncle Gums? Fucking hell.
me kind of losing it in the moment. That's why I think I got sucked into the...
Oh, the lore. Uncle Gums is a weirdo from TikTok who's done that thing that all the lolcows do that they get in trouble for. And then he decided he wanted to just, I don't know, hang out with people who talk about lolcows. And he goes to everyone's channel and tries to talk to them. He gave Cyrax some money. He's a weirdo. I just don't want him in my chat. I don't deal with him. He's just weird.
Meta-ironic black hole. Because the truth of the video really has been lost into the other. Another example of a meta-ironic content creator that people often bring up is Sam Hyde. He says a lot of kind of far-right statements now, but that wasn't always the case. When a lot of his content originally released, the meaning of it really was a mystery to a lot of people. You know, was he actually far right? Was he just joking? Or was he somebody who kind of...
Yeah, I don't think Sam Hyde is really your best example of someone who you want to be on the internet. I don't know. Maybe that's who you want to be.
Got too deep into the character and then kind of changed their positions and became the person that they kind of joked about along the way. Now, that was a primer to irony. Now we're getting into the stuff that I feel...
Oh, God, that was just a primer to irony. Now we're going to get into the real irony, guys. He's really just going to explain irony to you till you never even want to listen to Alanis Morissette ever again. Why didn't I start the stream with Alanis Morissette song? Isn't that ironic? I don't know why. That feels like a missed opportunity. Now I'm going to kick myself for that for days. I'm gonna kick myself for that for days. It really annoys me when it comes to mind after the stream started. I could have started with Alanis Morissette. Isn't that ironic? Whatever. Anyways.
Like I've invented. I am defining layer 3 on the irony scale as
layer
the lolcow layer. Remember,
the
an irony layer is...
He thinks he's not a lolcow. He thinks he's not a lolcow. By the way, lolcows don't know shit about irony. They're just stupid.
Critique. So layer 3 would be a critique of the critique of the critique of the original position. Yes. It is the shield breaker.
Sorry, I can't put it on screen. StreamYard's still struggling to keep up. But yes, it is like a junior college lecture. It is like a junior college lecture. Just taking all the fun out of a topic we all enjoy as he explains why he knows more about it to the class. It is irritating. It is irritating is what it is.
To the layer 2 shield. It attacks the concept of fighting back against criticism.
That's true. That's
this
true.
is why I'm calling it the lolcow layer, because attacking somebody for being a lolcow is a layer 3 argument. A lolcow is a very online term, both meant for somebody who is kind of worthy of being criticized and therefore can be milked for drama. But beyond just being a person who's worthy of ridicule, a lolcow is also sort of self-aware.
No. Showing he doesn't even understand the fundamental parts of being a lolcow, showing why he is absolutely going to be a lolcow. Right here. He thinks lolcows are self-aware. The fundamental problem with almost every single lolcow that has ever existed is they're not self-aware. They're not aware of who they are and how they come off. And that's exactly what you're dropping for everybody right now, is you're not aware of who you are and how you're coming off, sir.
That means that they know that they are the target of criticism, and they might in fact lean into it in order to kind of defend themselves against that criticism. And the very act of
showing nice pause screen, showing he has not taken any time to understand lolcows and how he's going to stop himself from being a lolcow.
Leaning into kind of the criticism and being the lolcow makes them even more of a lolcow by using this kind of defense against criticism by being the thing even more. In other words, the lolcow is using a strategy of kind of trying to fight back against criticism, and the accusation of being a lolcow against the person is instead
he'll be the world's first, well, I guess the world's second dull cow. Him and Chris Chan will be the only dull cows on Earth.
Criticizing that very behavior of kind of fighting back against kind of this kind of ridicule or these attacks. That's why it's the shield breaker to kind of like the shield that the lolcow is attempting to use against criticism. Layer 3 really is where things start to get very complicated. I feel like it's very easy to tell the difference between layer 0 and layer 2, sincerity and post-irony, because
sincerity and post-irony. This isn't anything that exists. This isn't even anything that exists. It'd be one thing if this was something that actually existed. This is just ridiculous shit he made up in his mind to be like, oh, well, these are jokes, and these are more sophisticated jokes, and these are even more sophisticated jokes that you have to be a really smart guy like me to understand. You have to see that he's really just making a joke about how he's stupid, but he's not actually stupid. He's really smart, and that's how he can make a joke how he's that stupid. So it's post-ironic on the third level, twice removed, guys. Such a moron. He is the worst kind of smart person because he's probably very smart in whatever field he has a job in, but he's completely foolish in other aspects of his life. But he assumes because he's book smart in whatever field that he's really smart in all these other. He understands comedy better than the people who practice comedy every day, who are successful as being funny comedians on. He knows it better because he's studied it. It's pathetic.
You know, a sincere position sounds very different than somebody being kind of over the top and hyperbolic, even though they still kind of mean the things that they're saying. Whereas I think...
Oh, hold on. 2 from Dan Wolf. Wait, hold on. Name one dumb lolcow. LMAO. What do you mean? Name one dumb lolcow. What do you mean? Most of them are pretty dumb. Most of them are pretty dumb. What are you talking about? Cyrax doesn't even have a high school diploma. King Cobra JFS was not exactly that smart. Tofia is not really that smart. Nova is not. What do you mean? No, none of them are smart. Or was that irony? Was that irony and it went over Steve's head? Because I'm not post-ironic enough. Must have been.
I think layer 1 and layer 3 are much harder to differentiate, and I struggle to find any real examples of this. Layer 3 would be like saying the move fast and break things philosophy is a bad philosophy. But how is it that much different from just saying don't break things? People criticize others for moving too fast and breaking too many things all the time. In fact, moving too fast might in fact be the chief cause of...
What is it? What is he talking about? Is he just whining about problems at work and how he doesn't like this? You're moving too fast and you're breaking things. Don't move too fast. Don't break things. Don't you understand that when I say move too fast, break things, I'm being ironic and I'm just telling you not to break things? He's just complaining about work now. Up to 2 from Smithers. But they are all PDFs. That's true. That is true. They are.
Of people breaking too many things. So really there has to be kind of a differentiator between somebody who's just saying don't break things versus attacking the very philosophy of move fast and break things. A great example of a layer 3 attack would be the I was just pretending to be retarded meme. Layer 0 of
Oh my god, he's gonna keep going over this stupid webcomic from what, like 15 years ago? That was just pointing out the this is all this webcomic is doing is pointing out the stupidity of acting stupid online and then just hiding it behind a stupid, oh, I was just pretending. And that's almost exactly what you're doing. This comic on the left is almost exactly what the man in the center is trying to do while saying, no, sir, I'm just being ironic. Don't you get it, sir?
Comic is the person being retarded. Layer 1 is the people in kind of the comic attacking the person for being retarded. And then layer 2 is the person attempting to dismiss criticism by saying, actually, it was a joke all along. And then layer 3 would be kind of the entire comic itself, because this is clearly an attack on the person who's pretending like he's kind of making a joke and therefore not actually being stupid. This is a layer 3 attack because it's attacking their kind of cope or defense against criticism. An issue with layer 3 and kind of the deeper layers of irony is a problem that I have invented called the nuh-uh problem. It goes something like this. A person says, hey, I did something cool. Somebody else says, nah, that sucks. And then the person responds by saying, nuh-uh. And then the response is, uh-huh, nuh-uh.
Look at him switching sides. Like that's helping illustrate his argument. He probably thought that would be, that'll be the key point. When I do that, I'm going to step to one side, I'm going to say one side, I'm going to step to the other side, I'm going to say the other, and everyone will go, wow, he's really getting creative. and putting himself into this video. Wow, bravo, sir. Bravo at making this amazing YouTube video that's a college presentation. Amazing.
Nuh-uh, ad infinitum. Is
Here we
each
go.
nuh-uhs and yahas a different layer of irony? I mean, I guess it's critiquing or disagreeing with the kind of critique before it. I don't feel like each of these things are new layers of irony. I feel like in order to ascend a layer of irony, the kind of statement or critique...
To ascend a layer of irony, to just ascend to that level of comedy like no one has ever entertained. What a ridiculous human being he is.
must truly understand kind of the self-referential nature of itself and its relationship to the other layers of irony. And finally, we have reached layer 4 of irony, another one that I have now invented, which I do not even have a name for.
Another one that I've now invented. I am the inventor of level 4 of irony, sir. Let me explain to you how level 4 of irony works, and you'll understand my ironic genius, sir.
Or yet. If you have a name, please kind of say so in the comments of this video.
Give him a name. Give him a name, too.
And I will attempt to use all of my energy left to break free of my earthly layer 2 bonds and ascend into kind of layer 4 for just a few moments to give some examples. If layer 0 is your body, then the virus is layer 1, and your antibodies are layer 2. Do you know?
Oh my god, he probably thought this was a genius metaphor when he thought, the virus is the irony of level 1. Your antibodies are the irony of level 2. Jesus Christ.
You know what that makes layer 3? Yeah, that's right. It makes it AIDS. And what does it make me? Well, I'm your sex education, baby. And you don't want to get AIDS. Listen to your sex educator. And AIDS isn't the thing that kills you. It attacks your immune system. It is the rest of the virus-like criticism that truly destroys you. And even more than that, AIDS is very difficult to cure. Once you have contracted kind of an illness...
You know, I can think of maybe 100 different metaphors that would have worked without talking about AIDS for some reason. Why would you bring up AIDS? It's a very sad, tragic illness. For some reason, he thought that was going to be post-ironic, guys. Amazing. Actually amazing.
That prevents you from fighting back against the very concept of criticism, you're doomed.
Two from Lance. His humor takes a really high IQ to understand. That is true. It's a very high IQ. You don't understand it. You're not post-ironic enough.
You have AIDS for life, and even worse, you can transmit it to other people. And us level 4 sex educators are out here trying to warn you of the danger of AIDS, either with, condoms or abstinence. And you teenagers out there, you're just out there kind of having fun, laughing at us, not really kind of taking our warnings seriously.
Why is he talking about teenagers? Why did he bring up teenagers? Okay, so now we have good reason to question what's going on his hard drive. Check his hard drives.
Seriously. But seriously, I'm telling you, you really don't want to get AIDS. But let me dispense with the analogies and kind of get to the conclusion of my video by making a direct layer 4 argument.
Direct layer 4 argument, guys. Jesus Christ, we're almost done.
Remember, irony is a critique. So level 4 is attacking the level 3 lolcow position. And it would go something like, I know you're having a lot of fun with your kind of critique and ridicule at your target and making your target kind of defenseless against criticism. Nay, you're making it so that if they even fight back against criticism, that kind of means that the attacks and criticism apply even more to them. And my response to that would be, why? Why would you hold such a philosophy that can be so accurately encapsulated by 2 words? Give up.
Steve gets it now. Steve understands it now. This whole video was him saying, I'm not a lolcow. Don't call me a lolcow. Oh, you think that you can call me a lolcow and say, oh, well, if you try to fight back against being a lolcow, that just makes you more of a lolcow. Well, let me tell you, I'm post-ironic level 4, and my answer to that is, I'm questioning your reasoning for calling me a lolcow, sir. You can't call me a lolcow. I'm above a lolcow. I'm even more ironic than a lolcow. I know what's happening around me, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna rise past being a lolcow, sir, and I'm gonna win the day. Because I'm better than you. I'm a Redditor. I'm a mod. And you just don't understand me.
Like, what are the good outcomes here? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish by attacking the very concept of fighting back against criticism? At least layer 1 is kinda useful. If you point out a problem, you can solve it, you can mitigate it, you can fix it. Whereas layer 3 is more just saying, nah, don't even try. The whole philosophy is just...
Layer 3 is correct. Don't even try to fight back against being a lolcow. You walk away and say, well, I've made everybody realize that I'm a giant joke. Time to walk away and try something else, because there's no coming back from being the world's biggest joke. Once everybody thinks you're a clown, you can't be anything else. That's how that works.
Sad to me. It's a tar pit of despair that you can't escape from, and I reject it. And that's kind of my layer 4 attack on kind of the lolcow argument. If you have any arguments that
that's what this whole video is about. Don't call him a lolcow. He's just being post-ironic level 4. You don't understand it. He's not a lolcow, guys.
Examples that kind of fit this layer 4 analogy, or names for this layer 4, put them kind of in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you come out of this video as equally enlightened about the concept of irony as you are infected by it. Because I will warn you, there's no way back.
Okay. Well, that was our Reddit mod man explaining why he is ironic and you just don't understand his many layers of irony. He's smarter than you. He understands comedy. He understands irony on a deeper level than you will ever understand. And that's just how it works, guys. He still wins because he's smarter than you. But that's all I got for today. I really don't want to watch anything else. I am tapped out. That ruined my day. That ruined my day watching that entire thing. That ruined my day, my night. Probably tomorrow I'm gonna go think about what I've done, and I don't know, try to think of a better way forward from here, guys. But until then, thank you all for coming by. I appreciate it as always. I will catch you guys at the next one, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
This is the only response video that you are getting. After this, I'm going back to ignoring you. I'm going back to blocking you. I'm going back to not paying attention to you.
Oh, no, you don't, Chris. You're not getting away that easy.
They're best tired of their filth lovers. They love filth. And they think the more filth they hear, the more filth they say, the more they enjoy it. They're just a bunch of people who loves filth. And we don't love filth.